Have you nothing better to do, blacksmith, than play with weapons of war? At least make yourself useful.
A little gratitude, Sonia, to the one who saved your life.
I needed no savior.
Tell me, Lucian, does it burden your heart to kill your own kind?
Not at all. A mindless beast, my lord. No brethren of mine.
Really?
Father?
Royal credit to your race. Do you know how to remain so? Keep your eyes on the ground. Get rid of that.
What's going on, ladies and gents in Cyberland? Coming back to you with another film review, moving on to technically the third Underworld film, but also a prequel to Underworld 1 and 2. So, Underworld Rise of the Lycans. This was, I think, the last Underworld film I saw in theaters, too. So with this one, it's pretty much a prequel to what started the war between the Lycans and the vampires. What really... I mean, the first film, Lucian, it was mentioned, but now you get to see the actual recording of it, the actual film of the whole situation of why Lucian had a very understandable issue with vampires, especially Victor. And we see characters that have somewhat of a cameo in this film, or they show up in this film, but then they're not present in the first film, and then they're present in Underworld Evolutions or something along those lines. Or characters are talked about that are not shown here, but mentioned or shown in the other films. So more of a history lesson of the Underworld saga, this film in particular. As far as my rating goes for this film, I give it... what do I want to give this? Looking back on it. Just think... yeah, that sounds about right. So I give this film 4 out of 5 yes sirs. I would have given it higher, but I think the film was just not long enough. I felt it didn't feel low budget, but the film felt like it just wasn't long enough. Maybe another 30 minutes would have given me a higher rating with it. I kind of felt maybe there could have been more. But then, I don't know. Could that more have made a difference? Because the other thing with the film is that it really just takes place in 2 areas. It's literally the castle, Victor's castle, or out in the forest. And I get it. You can say, well, that's where they're at. But I'm like, I don't know. It just... I felt something was just missing from this one. And I don't think it was the characters. I just felt... something just wasn't as interesting to me. It's still entertaining, and I think the action was better than the other 2 films. But then also it's medieval, so you know. But it was very entertaining. I enjoyed that too. It reminded me a little bit of Lord of the Rings. And again, popcorn flick. Nothing too big to get from it except maybe the romance part of it, which was cool. It built, and then you get to see how some characters care more about their, how do I say, their pecking order as opposed to their family. They care more about how they're looked upon in regards to the Covenant or other Lycans per se, as opposed to what really matters. I felt that was, even though you have werewolves, Lycans, and vampires, they still act like humans. They still have that personification that a lot of humans tend to present towards each other. So that was interesting. Outside of that, nothing I didn't like. I just felt it just felt like something was missing. I also kind of sometimes, when I look back on this film too, was it something that needed to be released in theaters? I get it, for a monetary reason. However, it didn't give a vibe to me like it should have been in theaters. It just didn't flow with that. Like the first two, like the first film was okay, these are theater. The third film just felt like, not low, but it just felt like, did this have to go in theaters? Could it have been released for us fans to just pick it up and watch it? It just didn't give the same vibe like a theatrical release. I think that was the thing when I was watching. I just felt like, I don't know, it just didn't give the same vibe like the first two. And again, it's not a bad film. It just felt like something was missing from this one as opposed to the first two. Yeah. So with that being said, if you're looking for just, again, turn the brain off, be entertained, not to think much more than that, and just enjoy the action and the dialogue and the characters, hey, check it out. You like the first two, I would say still watch this one. I think it's a step down, but it's still a good, decent film. Yeah. So I will catch you guys on the next one. Take care.